welcome everybody to our Monday night edition of the Chainmovers Podcast. As always, I'll be your host, Chad, and with me is my trusted little buddy, Reed.
Back full force.
How's it going, Reed?
It's going okay. It's not cold yet.
No, it's pretty nice out there right now.
It is.
Nice sunny day.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 21 degrees tomorrow. What do you think of that?
21.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I should find something to do outside tomorrow.
May as well. Maybe rake some leaves.
Yeah, maybe something more fun.
What could be more fun than that? You make the pile and you jump in.
Yeah. Actually, that is fun. I haven't done that in a while.
It's great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Maybe you could do that.
There are leaves where I live.
There's tons everywhere. You can come rake mine if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Run around, do whatever you want. It could be great. Right on. Yeah. Well,
we were in
quite a bit to get to.
Week 4 this week.
Week 4 of the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
Week 4. We're a quarter of the way in.
Yeah, and I mean, based on what happened this weekend, you can take everything you knew and throw it out the window. There was some shockers. There was some non-shockers. Brady came back to Foxboro.
Yeah.
Cardinals are for real from the looks of it. I mean,
couple surprises.
Yeah.
I don't think we really have any concrete answers quite yet.
No. You can also tell that to my Sports Interaction account. My parlays fell apart pretty early, Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty early.
Mine did too. It was over after the first slate of games.
Pretty much the only game that I got right everywhere was the Colts over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And they were 1.5-point underdogs, but they won quite handily. But yeah, let's dive in.
Yeah,
let's get at her. Just a quick touch base on the old Monday nighter. Got the Raiders Chargers. My Raiders are losing. It was 14-0. Do we have an update on that?
It is 21-0.
Oh, perfect. Are they at the half or no? Not quite yet.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so Chargers up 21-0 in that one, which makes sense because I threw a few bucks on the Raiders to win this game. So
the AFC West is up for grabs, you could say.
It sure is, especially if the Raiders lose tonight.
We'll have the Raiders. Chargers are 2-1. Chiefs are 2-2 now, and Denver's 3-1.
And the Chargers will be 3-1 if they win.
So we have a log jam.
And
oh, it's not over yet. It's only halftime.
Yeah.
These 14-0 leads are disappearing like crazy, so we'll see what happens. Derek Carr's got to get her going. He's only 7 for 13 for 52 yards.
And what's Herbert done?
Herbert is 175, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent half.
It is.
Pretty decent half of football, but enough about that. Enough.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about the Raiders losing all day.
Where are we going first?
Let's start with the drubbing of the weekend. Bills-Texans. 40-0. Bills 40. Texans nothing. That's a Bills' second shutout this year. Shut out the Dolphins 35-0. And then they beat up the Texans 40-0. Davis Mills 11-21. 87 yards and 4 picks for the Houston Texans. And Josh Allen 20-29 for 248. 2 touchdowns a pick. And Diggs went 7 for 114. Moving the Bills up to 3-1 and in sole possession of first place of the AFC East. And the Texans dropped to 1-3. So, that being said, can anybody stop the Bills?
I don't have it in front of me, but I don't think their schedule's been super intensive so far.
Mainly divisional games.
Yeah, I think they beat the Jets and the Dolphins. If I'm not, maybe not the Jets. Dolphins for sure, and then the Texans. I'm not sure. We'll have a better idea once they play somebody better, I think. But they did lose to Pittsburgh, though, right?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. The Buffalo they'll be there at the end of the year. They'll be in the playoffs, I would think.
They look pretty good. They're averaging almost 40 points a game this season. So not only are they getting it done on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, Josh Allen sliding into MVP form, as was the guess prior to the season that he would be in the running. And Yeah, our MVP so far discussion from last show, we could probably blow that up too, because it just isn't panning out that way. So,
No, this Bills defense is for real, I think. So that's kind of an important thing to have in the NFL.
It is. It definitely is. That being said, let's move over to it was a shocker of the weekend for me. Jets 27, Titans 24. Jets take this one in overtime. Fresh off of me saying the Jets won't win a game this year, they turn around and beat the Titans.
Yeah.
Which, I understand Julio was out, A.J. Brown was out, but come on. Come on, Tennessee.
Henry rushed. What did he rush for? He had
57.
He had a hell of a game too.
Only one.
I don't know how they didn't win.
Brutal. Tannehill went 30 of 49, 298 and a touchdown. The Jets had 7 sacks in this game.
Yeah.
7 sacks.
The Jets were at home too, weren't they?
No, they were in Tennessee.
No, it was in New York. Pretty sure.
It could have been, Reed. I don't know. I didn't watch 1 second of the game.
I think Zach Wilson actually played pretty good. What are his numbers here? I have them written down.
21, 34, 297, 2 tutties and a pick. Corey Davis, 4 for 111 and a touchdown. You like Corey Davis going into this weekend.
The Jets actually had a receiver who played like a receiver this week.
Yeah, the running game was still non-existent, but apparently they didn't need it to beat the Titans. No. So, Titans are the loser of the week, losing to the Jets. That takes them to 2-2. Takes the Jets to 1-3.
Yeah, that's a tough one to lose. Ooh.
That's rough. I don't care what receivers you're missing.
Yeah.
You should have NFL caliber receivers to back them up. So, I don't know if you're Mike Vrabel. You're back to the old drawing board here. You never know which team you're going to get any given Sunday.
I don't think the Titans have a day off this week. Ooh. I think they might have had a day off. I don't know, but they'll be back at the grindstone tomorrow.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they might even be running some sprints tomorrow, I would say.
All day.
Yep.
Throwing up by the end of practice sprints is what they should be doing. Jets take that one. So good on them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. That Jets, that might be the only game they win this year. You might be right.
Well, geez, if they can beat the Titans, they surely should be able to beat the Falcons, who lost again this weekend to Washington. 34-30.
That was a good segue. We gotta start. That's our best segue yet.
That was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Been waiting 10 weeks to deliver, or 10 episodes to deliver a segue like that. It's our 10th episode today, Reed.
I thought it was our 10th episode last week.
Started on a Monday.
Okay.
So there you go. Episode number 10. Everybody, thanks for being here that long,
Thanks for us to be. Well,
yeah. Pat yourself on the back, maybe.
I guess. Not quite yet. Maybe at 20.
Maybe 50. We'll see how it goes.
This Washington-Atlanta game was actually pretty good. There were lots of lead changes.
Yes. And Heineke with a little bit of magic there at the end of the game to secure the victory. Falcons are up 30-28, and Heineke pulled a little rabbit out of his hat there. And they cashed in late. Nice day for Heineke. 23 of 33, 290 for 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. And his favorite target, Terry McLaurin, 6 for $123, 2 of those touchdowns. So,
yeah, he outdueled Matt Ryan, who had a hell of a day himself.
He did. 4 touchdowns. And probably the fantasy, not probably, it is the fantasy surprise of the weekend was Cordero Patterson. 5 of 82 for 3 touchdowns.
This guy has been in the league for like 10 years already, and this might be his best season.
So far, yeah. Definitely. He's found his home in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
they have him playing running back and receiver, don't they?
Yeah, he's been always kind of a gadget guy, right?
Yeah,
so
he was a punt returner, a kickoff guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, he's getting better with age. I'd like to take a page out of his book for my life.
Oh, when you can run a 4.5, 40.
I'll have to grow about 8 inches first and lose 20 pounds.
And put on 30 of muscle, and then you might be ready to go, but you're still not 6'2", so Are you?
I think he's taller than 6 foot. I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6".
He's a big dude.
He's tall. Yeah.
Anyway, fantasy shocker of the week, Cordero Patterson. And you know this all too well, being as your opponent this weekend flexed him in, and he dropped about 32 points on you.
He did.
So that one stings.
Can't win them all.
A little extra.
Yeah.
But that's life. Let's slide over to Bears-Lions. We both had the Lions as our upset of the week. I don't want to rehash it too much, but they disappointed again, Reed. They lost this one 24-14. Pulled the Bears up to 2-2, and the Lions down to 0-4. Diving a little deeper into this one, Reed, because I'm curious your thoughts on it. Fields went 11 of 17, 209, and a pick. So he's still looking for that elusive first touchdown. If you're the Bears, I mean, you beat the Lions. What are you looking at next week?
Who do the Bears play next week? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But David Montgomery finally showed up. He rushed for over 100, 2 touchdowns, I think.
$6, yeah.
And that's the only way they're really going to win is when he runs like that, because Justin Fields isn't going to be able to carry Justin Fields, Mac Jones, all those, Zach Wilson. They're not going to be able to win games by themselves.
No.
They need their running game to pick it up, and they need their receivers to catch balls for them. And their defense has to play above average if they want to win.
Yeah.
And it is possible. It can happen.
Yeah,
and
could.
It did happen this week.
Darnell Mooney, 5 for 125.
Allen Robinson didn't do much, I don't think, like you said.
We busted him.
And he did bust.
Lions, Quintus Cephas appears to be the lead receiver in Detroit.
Yeah, Jared Goff is
4 for 83.
He's in a tough spot.
Oh, the Lions are so bad.
They're so bad.
I didn't think they were worse than the Jets, though, but I still don't believe they are. The Lions are a better team than the Jets. Right?
Well, I think so. Well, I don't know. I have no argument that would back that up at the moment.
Well, other than their records, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's time for me to... I was optimistic for the Lions this year because I do believe in Jared Goff, but I think it's time to brush that aside and pick a new team.
And see them for what they really are.
Yeah.
And that is not a very good football team.
No.
But that's life. That's life.
Yeah, I would guess Fields gets another crack at her next week.
Yeah, I would say, well, as long as you win, you probably start again next week, right? Yep. So...
should we stick with the rookie quarterbacks?
Sure. Where do you want to go?
Should we go Pats Bucks Sunday nighter?
We can dive right into that one. Emotional homecoming for Tom Brady. Obviously wanting to win this game. His first time back at Foxboro, not as a member of the Pats. Some emotional greetings from Mr. Kraft in the tunnel. And then not as emotional with Belichick after the game on center field. It was a quick hug, a couple words. Bill bounced. Didn't want anything to do with that. I don't think that's a big surprise. Belichick doesn't seem overly mushy to me, especially after a loss. So, Bucks took this one 19-17. Brady, pretty pedestrian day for him. 22 of 43, 269. And Fournette boomed him. 20 and 91. No touchdowns, but that's easily his best game of the year.
Yeah, I don't know how the Bucks won this game. They had no business winning this game. The Patriots actually played pretty well.
They played way above their weight, I would say.
Mac Jones, the rookie quarterback, he threw for 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
200 and some yards.
275 and a pick. 31 of 40. So he only missed 9 passes all night.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in the red zone. They ran a couple plays. They looked pretty good. But their defense just well, I don't know. Special teams probably is why the Bucks won this game, I think.
Yeah.
Defense, special teams.
Yeah.
They ran a couple kicks back.
Pats, 8 total rush attempts in that game.
Yeah. This was a weird game.
-1 rushing yard.
Yeah.
And You boom the Pats tight ends.
Yeah, they each caught one, didn't they?
Each one of them had one.
That's right.
Look at you, the Oracle, Reed.
The Eagles guy had a good day though, so we were even.
Oh, Goddard.
Yeah.
I seen Ertz catch one. I watched the end of that game, but it was garbage time by that point. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting. I don't know. I thought it was actually they made more of it than I thought they would. I didn't think they would. Well, and Brady broke the all-time passing record too, which had something to do with
congratulations,
how things
Tom.
went. Yeah, Drew Brees was there, sideline.
Held that for a whole 4 games. So congrats, Drew.
There was a bunch of stuff going on last night in that game.
Yeah, all kinds of side stories.
I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be less of a big deal, but it was a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah,
tickets were like $400 a piece to get into that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering if Brady was gonna crack a tear or something. I didn't think he would. I thought he'd be pretty stoic, but no, he had a hard time. I think.
Did he cry?
I think he was. It wasn't easy for him.
Wouldn't be the first time Tom cried on TV.
No, I think he was having some trouble.
Maybe
to be expected. He was only there for about 20 years.
Yeah, made the franchise really into what it is, and bounced, and but. Regardless, Bucks back to their winning ways, 3-1.
Yep.
Now tied with the Panthers. And
do we have any
let's jump into the Cowboys Panthers, because I was a Panther believer in this one. You not so much. You like the Cowboys in this one, and you proved to be right. Cowboys 36, Panthers 28. Could have been worse. Touchdown there in garbage time made it 28, but. Prescott, 14-22 for $188 and 4 touchdowns. Zeke, 20 carries for $143 and a tutty. Sam Darnold leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he's rushing up a storm.
5 rushing touchdowns, 2 in this game. DJ Moore went 8 of 113 for 2 touchdowns, and Chuba Hubbard, 13 carries for 57 yards. Pretty quiet day. But the Panthers couldn't run the ball for very long because Dallas jumped out to an early lead, and Dallas looked good doing it, as much as that pains me to say. Yeah. I mean, at this point, Cowboys are easily going to win their division.
Looks that way.
Like, who else is going to give them a run?
I don't know. Zeke's finally playing like he should be playing.
He sure is.
Stringing together multiple good above-average games in a row.
Tony Pollard had 67 yards in this game too, so pretty much whatever they tried worked.
And Dak Prescott didn't try to throw for 400 yards?
He didn't even have to.
No, he didn't even throw for 200.
Dropped back 22 times.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you can run the ball.
Yeah,
so
that's probably the formula. We've talked about that. Every time Dak throws for 400 yards, they lose.
They lose, yeah.
So you got to stop throwing for 400 yards.
That's right. All you got to do is get your run game going.
Yeah.
I was thinking back to our conversation about this game on Saturday, and how I said, Dak Prescott's no different than Tom Brady in the fact that if you knock him on his ass, he won't have a good day. And the Panthers come out quick, and they brought big blitzes right out of the gate. We're pressuring Prescott, and then they just started throwing screens, slowing down the pass rush. And the Cowboys look like a competent football team this year. And I can't see why they wouldn't win their division pending an injury. Even if they lost Zeke, they'd be fine. Tony Pollard, probably shoulder load, I think. So I think if they lost Prescott, that's bad. That would be the end of the road.
What did Amari do? He got a touchdown.
Yeah, he didn't have a big yardage total, but he did have a touchdown.
I don't think CD had any touchdowns.
Well, Dak only went for $188, so a super efficient 4-touchdown day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The defense was good most of the game. Towards the end, they let a couple bad ones.
Was it Trayvon Diggs? Had another 2 picks in this game.
Yeah.
So he has 5 on the year already. And let's be honest, that's what the Cowboys needed. I mean, looking back to last season, that defense was historically bad. So now that they're par, or a little bit above par, I'm going to say, maybe they got something there. But I'm still waiting. This is still the Cowboys, and no matter how good they are, they seem to screw it up. So I'm just going to sit back and watch this one from the cheap seats. I'm not ready to crown them the NFC champs yet, but we'll see. They look a lot better than I thought they were going to. Let's put it that way. So,
should we stick with the division?
Yeah.
May as well should
go
go Giants.
Saints? Yeah, Saints,
Giants, Saints.
Sure.
Giants picking up the first win of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Beating a good Saints team. Well, yeah, good. Maybe a strong word.
Depends on the week.
Jameis Winston, very average, 226 yards, 1 touchdown. Looked like the Jameis of old.
It sure did.
And Alvin Kamara rushed for 120, but no scores. So whenever you don't let Alvin Kamara score a touchdown, that's probably a recipe for a win.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't easy. The game did go to overtime. And Barkley rushed a touchdown in overtime, I believe.
Yeah.
Kenny Golladay finally caught a couple balls, 116 yards. Looked like the Kenny Golladay of 2 years ago.
You liked him going into this weekend. So
yep. He had to have a big day, too, because they were down 2 receivers.
Sterling Shepard and
Slayton did not
Darius
play.
Slayton, that's right.
So, coupled with a decent performance from the Giants' defense, they're able to get it done and perhaps save their season.
In that division, yeah. I mean, if we'll see. You got to think probably both wild card berths are going to come from the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
But
the division winner still is a top 4 seed.
Yes, yeah. So
they're going to have to win. Whoever wins that division is probably the only team going to playoffs.
I would bet so. Yes. So Giants 1-3, like you said, that was their first win. Saints 2-2. We've seen good Saints, bad Saints, good Saints, bad Saints.
Yeah.
Well, what are the Saints?
I don't know. I don't think Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill threw a pick, I believe.
Did he?
Threw a bad interception.
Okay.
I don't know why he was playing, but I think they rotated him a little bit. I didn't see him run. I didn't see him do anything much on the ground, but I think he did throw an interception for when they did put him in. But I don't know what the hell they're gonna do there with the quarterbacks. I would imagine they'll leave Winston in, and they'll mix in Hill on the ground, much like they did with Drew Brees. I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah. If.
But they need Michael Thomas back, or else I don't know. They'll be on the verge of that last playoff spot, I think.
A lot of those guys that had kind of those breakouts in training camp for the Saints, that, Jawan Johnson, who's the other guy there? I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. They had 2 guys that kind of broke out.
Callaway?
Marquez Callaway. Break out in the preseason and at training camp, and, they were talking about him at training camp, and then moving into the preseason, they're like, everybody knows about these guys now. Neither one of them has had much success this season. They don't go off for 3 touchdowns or anything, but I'd say a lot of that has to do with quarterback play. So,
Jameis was actually slinging the ball yesterday.
He can throw.
Oh yeah,
he's got good arm strength.
I think he threw like a 60-yard bomb to Callaway that one play.
I believe it. It's just he makes horrible decisions.
Yeah.
And his mistakes compound on top of one another. Whereas, you're talking about guys like a Tom Brady or even a Josh Allen. He throws a pick, he forgets about it, right? So,
yeah.
Let's move over to the one game that I actually did get right. That was the Colts-Dolphins. Both teams now 1-3. Wentz for 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett again, 20 of 30, $199, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, nice day for the Colts, 16 for 103 and a touchdown. Kind of a meaningless game, honestly, at this point, other than the Colts picked up their first win. I don't expect much from either team going forward. Where are you at with them? You think Dolphins are going to turn it around when Tua comes back?
I think the potential for the Colts to turn around is greater than the Dolphins. Carson Wentz, 228 for 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
If he does that out every game and Taylor rushes for 100 yards and a touchdown, they'll win some games.
But that ain't gonna happen.
But that's not gonna happen. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's
Dolphins'
gonna
defense
if they want
is-
to make the playoffs, it's gonna have to happen a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That AFC South could be interesting. It's a pretty weak division too, right? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's slide over to Browns Vikes. This one was a good old slugfest. AFC, NFC, Browns take it. It was 14-7, right? I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
I have
it was
17 wrote
14-7.
down here, but it was 14-7. Browns now 3-1 atop the AFC North with the Bengals. And the Vikes dropped to 1-3. Too bad. Kirk, for the first time, didn't throw for 300 yards. Pedestrian, 203. Jefferson, again, decent day, 684 for a touchdown. And Nick Chubb, 21 carries for 100 yards. So, pretty uneventful game. If you like defense, this was the game for you.
Yeah, I don't think I watched 2 seconds of this game.
I didn't either. I didn't really have a vested interest in it.
I did think Kirk. I thought Kirk would actually have a good game, though. I picked him in my daily fantasy sports lineup.
Yeah.
Thought he was a good price, but no.
Browns are good, man.
Yeah, the Browns do. Yeah, their defense is good. I knew the Browns had a good defense, but still, I thought. Did Dalvin Cook play? I think he did play.
He did. He didn't do much, though.
No.
Definitely didn't do what Chubb did. But I don't care who the Browns are playing. Like, I don't know who they got next week, but let's say they play the Cards. That would be a hard pick for me. Still, the Browns are solid. They don't just roll over anymore.
Browns play the Chargers.
See, that's a tough pick for me.
No.
I don't know who I'd take in that game yet, but
Cleveland's. I don't know. Are they a top? Where are you putting them overall right now in terms of?
In just their conference or overall?
They're a top 10 team for sure.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
probably a 6 or 7.
I think they're better than the Bengals.
Yeah, they're banging on the top 5 door.
At a 3-1 record,
yeah.
how aren't they, right?
No.
So
Baker's got to play a little bit better, though. He only threw for 155 yards, no touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah, pretty boring day.
But his defense saved him today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday.
So Browns, that's a good hard win. You know.
They beat Minnesota. Anytime they beat Minnesota, it probably feels good.
Yeah, Minnesota's not a horrible team. I don't think, but their record would say otherwise. But I would disagree with that. So, Chiefs Eagles. You want to slide over there?
Yeah, that's like highest scoring game of the pretty close. Yeah, I think it was the highest scoring game this week.
Chiefs put up the most points. Yeah,
42-30.
Yeah,
never really in doubt. The Chiefs had it the majority of the way.
Yeah,
just once you get behind Kansas City, you fall behind this team early, you ain't gonna win.
No, because then you start blitzing, and they start, seeing your blitz coming, and then they hit the wide open guy, and and then you're chasing all afternoon, right? So
Tyreek Hill, to put it mildly, he had his way with the Philadelphia Eagles cornerbacks.
Yeah, he had a pretty good day. 11 for 186 and 3 touchdowns. Yeah. The Eagles are in shambles. I don't know where you go from here if you're the Eagles. Devonta Smith looked good. He had 7 receptions for 122, but Jalen Hurts, 32 of 48, 387, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of that came in garbage time. I don't know. They have no O-line. Their defense stinks. If you're the Eagles...
Miles Sanders still putting on very average performances.
Yeah, well, they're always chasing points, right?
Yeah.
So they got to abandon the run, and that rarely works, especially when your quarterback's Jalen Hurts. Not that he's a bad quarterback, but he's not going to carry you to 3 late touchdowns. It's just he's not there yet. So
he's the kind of guy who has to play with a lead.
Yeah, he needs to be comfortable back there.
Wrong team to fall behind to.
Terrible.
I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a pretty solid game also, I believe.
14 carries, 102.
Yeah, good enough.
So, That's easily his best game of the year. Because they don't really even have to run the ball. They just throw and win. So, Chiefs back to their winning ways. That puts them to 2-2, drops the Eagles to 1-3. So everyone's 1-3 in that NFC East except the Cowboys at 3-1. So
yeah, the Cowboys
to lose now.
Yeah, they have the chance to run away with the division. And it's only week 4. We got some time left.
And it is the Cowboys. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I think Washington's our main worry in that division, I would say.
Yeah, if they ever figure out their defense, yeah. That defense has been super underwhelming, disappointing so far this year, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They haven't looked good at all, which, I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago now. I think they have 4 of their, 4 first-round picks on that line. 4 of their last 6 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And they're not playing like it. So, I don't know. Got to light a fire under their ass somehow.
Washington's got some weapons on the offensive side, too.
And Heineke doesn't look bad.
Gibson, I don't know. Gibson was okay this week. McLaurin's playing like a top 5 receiver.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't a Pro Bowler this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He looks good. So.
And you got to think Saquon Barkley is ready for a good year, too. The Giants have to be a team to watch.
He's taking his time if he is ready. Maybe next week he'll get going. I don't know. I don't know if that injury's still hanging with him.
I think
maybe mentally he can't get over it. I don't know. But, I mean, he was sniffing 60 yards this weekend, so that's a win, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not ready to crown the Cowboys just yet. They'll have some work to do.
No.
Heavy favorite at the moment, but they gotta keep playing.
I'll crown the Cowboys when they're 13-3. You know, then I'll be like, okay, they got the division. But the Cowboys do Cowboy things, and they always find a way to sabotage themselves. So
I think we're basically through most of the games. Which ones haven't we got to yet?
Rams Cards.
Yep.
Yeah, Cards. Easily handling the previously undefeated Rams. 37-20. Cards 4-0. The Raiders lose tonight, which it looks like they might. They'll be the only undefeated team left in the league. And the Rams dropped 3-1. Stafford had a rough day. Cards 4-0, top of the NFC West, which is the best division in football. They for real after this one?
The Cardinals are 4-0, are they not?
They are 4-0.
Yeah, they're for real.
They're the real deal.
Kyler's playing well.
They're going to win that division?
Not ready to go that far yet.
But they'll be in there till the end, you think?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't look at Hopkins' stat line. Do you know what he was at?
I don't. I just took down A.J. Green.
Hopkins was less than A.J.
As he come out of nowhere,
Green
this guy had disappeared for 3 years. I mean, he was playing for Cincy, but not really. And he went 5 of 67 for a touchdown. And I believe he had at least 1 touchdown last week, maybe 2. So I think he's still sitting on the wire in our fantasy league. Someone will run out and grab him. But he I don't know, the Rams never were in this game. I watched it start to finish, and the Cards, every time they touched the ball, they scored, whether it be a field goal or touchdown. Jeez, I think they went like 6 of 7 on drives. They scored 6 out of 7 drives or something like that. They just were super efficient. You could tell they're confident. They're not scared of anybody right now. And
I think it's just Kyler's ability to move around in the pocket and run and throw and do everything he does. It's he's looking like Lamar Jackson right now.
Probably even maybe a little better.
Yep. Just a pain to play against.
Yes. Yeah, you can't account for that guy, squirting out of the backfield all the time, right?
Yeah. So when you got the receivers like he does, and I think the running back Edmonds played pretty good. I think he ran for 100 yards too.
He did. He had 120.
Yeah.
Well, 10 yards a tote. 12 carries, 120 yards. You're ripping off 10 every time you touch the ball. That's a good day.
Yep,
So,
they spread around, got her done, and then their defense looked pretty good too.
yeah, the Rams were never in it. Stafford looked uncomfortable, lost. Yeah, Cards look good. 4-0. Reed said they're going to win their division. He just said it.
They might.
Okay, he didn't say it, but
Should we stick in that division with the other game?
yes, we should. This was one other game I got right, too. Seahawks, 49ers. Seahawks take this one, 28-21. They were 1.5-point underdogs, I believe, going into this one.
Jimmy Garoppolo left the game, if I'm not mistaken, with an injury.
Did he get hurt or did he get pulled?
I believe he was hurt.
Okay.
I think it was third quarter, third quarter.
Okay. Trey
Insert
Lance
Trey Lance.
had an okay statistical day for his limited playing time.
Yep.
9 of 18, 157, 2 touchdowns. Debo, 8 receptions, 156 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see this Jimmy injury, though. What was it, do you know?
I can't. It was something with his leg, I think.
Okay.
But Russell Wilson doing Russell Wilson things.
Did enough to win, right? 16 of 23, $149, 2 touchdowns for Russ. Tyler Lockett, disappointingly quiet in this one.
Yeah.
24 yards or something. DK had a tutty, though. So, Seahawks, they are 3-1 or 2-2?
I believe they're 2-2.
2-2. So
And
we
the
got
49ers
the Cards.
just, if I was high on the 40, I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I was never really high on San Francisco this year.
No,
Just because their running backs have been hurt since week 1.
well, and they really didn't do a lot in the offseason. They drafted Trey Lance.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they really didn't do much.
No.
So I wasn't real excited about them either. I still think the Seahawks are going to win this division. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know. They're moved up to, are the 49ers 1-3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the 49ers are going to have a rough go.
Well, in any other division, they're a pretty good team.
Their defense is still solid. That's
Yeah.
still. I don't know. They could. Is there any chance all 4 of these teams could make the playoffs?
Negative.
Impossible.
Yes.
There are 7 teams make it, right?
They're going with last year's model.
So the division winner is in for sure.
Yeah.
Then 3 wild cards.
It's normally 2, right?
But 7 teams make the playoffs, right? Per conference.
No, because then because we have a bye then, right? Yeah.
Number 1 gets a bye and
Yeah,
go 2,
that's
7, 3, 6, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So I guess it is
So it
possible.
is possible.
Unlikely, but possible.
Super unlikely
Yeah.
considering they play each other quite a bit. So, but I would bet a lot of money that 2 of those 3 wildcard teams are going to be from that division.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Reed, I think that's the last game we have to cover is the Ravens Broncos.
Oh, we got another one after this. I just looked.
Okay. Pretty uneventful game. Ravens took a 23-7.
Cruise control.
Just Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos are not a 3-0 team.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no, they're 3-1. They lost Teddy B to a concussion in this one.
Mm-hmm.
In comes Drew Lock, who shit the bed. The real story in this one, though, Hollywood Brown did rebound as well, 491 for a touchdown. Ravens 3-1, Broncos 3-1. Today, Vic Fangio comes out, blasts the Ravens. Instead of taking a knee with, 5 seconds left or something when they got the ball back, they ran a play. Lamar ran it for 4 yards, and the reason they ran it is because with those 4 yards, they have now ran for at least 100 yards in 43 consecutive games, tying the Cleveland Browns from 40 years ago. I don't know when Cleveland did this, but Vic Fangio blasting John Harbaugh and saying, it's bullshit, but we expect it from him. Pretty much throwing him under the bus. And
I never did see this, but
yeah, it was interesting. Meanwhile, Fangio with 30 seconds left is taking timeouts to try and score touchdowns in a game he's obviously going to lose. So he pretty much called Harbaugh out for exactly what he did, which I don't know. Vic Fangio, he's a nobody. I mean, Yeah, you're 3-0 in Denver, but you played garbage teams so far. I don't know who he thinks he is all of a sudden.
No.
Vic Fangio. Come on. Give it rest already. Who is this guy? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. How long has he been in Denver for? A couple of years now.
Well, was he the defensive coordinator there?
He was the coach last year for sure. I know that.
Okay.
He's probably, I don't know. It's a good thing they got off to a good start because he's probably a guy who'd be on the hot seat.
I would imagine, yeah. Him and Nagy.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy.
Denver Broncos are 3-1. Go figure.
Yeah. Did you see their opponents the first 3 weeks?
Who did they?
It's like the Jets, the Jags. And some. Oh, we haven't talked about the Jags game.
That one we haven't got to yet either. Jeez.
Oh, that was a Thursday night game.
We talked
That's
about
right.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Did you, sorry, but sticking with the Jags here, did you see the video of Urban Meyer that has gone viral?
Did not.
Urban Meyer went to Ohio. Well, he was there playing Cincinnati. Urban Meyer stuck around. Apparently he has family there, so he stuck around, wanted to see his grandkids. All of a sudden, a video emerges of him in a bar, which is, is fine, other than he's got some little 22-year-old rocket grinding on him at the bar.
This is my first. I've never heard of this before. This is my first time hearing
Well,
this.
you Google it, and you'll see the video, and Urban come out today and apologized for being a distraction, and he shouldn't have put himself in that situation, and yeah, it was it was pretty comical though. I imagine he's in the doghouse at home with Mrs. Meyer, but such is life.
Sure. I didn't hear about this yet.
When you're an NFL coach, you got to watch over your shoulder all the time because somebody's always going to record what you're doing. Somebody's always watching what you're doing. And yeah, granted, he probably shouldn't have been doing that, but yeah, it's yeah, I thought that was.
He's got to have it. Well, I don't know. He's not gonna be having very much fun this year.
No.
So maybe
No.
This is his little bit of fun.
That was his fun.
Maybe because he ain't gonna be having a whole bunch of fun on the football field.
Nah,
this year.
he's not having a lot of success so far.
And then
Which game do we miss, Reed?
Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, I didn't even write that one down because it was such a nothing game.
It was actually a pretty boring game. I expected a better game, but
Horrible.
Big Ben Roethlisberger just not playing like Ben Roethlisberger lately.
Mm-mm.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't have any other options right now. What do they do?
Yeah, from a quarterback perspective,
Yeah.
they have nothing at all. What was the score in that game?
27-17.
Green Bay handled them pretty easy.
Aaron Rodgers. This was a rematch of Super Bowl from 11 years ago, I believe. This is the first time they played since then.
Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I did hear that. Green Bay beat Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl in 2010. And we're in 2021 now,
Yeah,
so
that's 11 years.
11 years
by
ago. I
my
remember that.
math.
I remember that quite vividly.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Good enough.
That's all he needed.
A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones both had 15 carries. A.J. Dillon outran Aaron Jones this week.
How many yards do you have?
81 to Jones's 48.
How many receptions
I
does
thought-
Jones have, though? They
Yeah,
always
I'm not
hit
sure.
him.
I figured they would get Dillon in the game more.
Yeah.
Lots of teams are using 2 running backs, and I figured it was just about time for Green Bay to do that too.
So I'm not big on A.J. Dillon's history, I guess. Did they draft him this year?
2 years ago, I believe.
Where'd he come from? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Don't know. Huh. Was he like a stud in college, or obviously he got drafted, but
I'm not too sure.
Like
He had a couple of good games last year.
I've never even heard of this guy in college. And all of a sudden, everyone was pretty high on him, for fantasy purposes going into the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about him. I'm going to have to do a little research on that.
Najee Harris, 15 for 62 with a touchdown. But nonetheless, in a losing cause.
John Ross. Remember? Saturday, we're like, where'd John Ross go? You know where he went?
No.
I don't remember. I heard his name this weekend, though.
I did too.
Buffalo?
I can't remember.
Is he in Buffalo?
I can't recall.
Search it up. Have a look-see.
Jim Ross, John Ross.
Jim Ross. JR from WWE. Yeah, John
You
Ross.
are right, he is. I did see his name too, and it wasn't Cincinnati.
Well, I think he caught a touchdown. I think he's in Buffalo, to be honest with you. I think I seen him in blue and red.
He's with the New York Giants.
The New York Giants in blue and red. Yeah, so there you go. John Ross is a giant. Not literally, of course, but...
How many more weeks do you give Big Ben?
like you said, where do they go, though? You know?
A very dejected-looking Big Ben on the bench, too.
Yeah, he's...
Just not a lot of hope there. Just looking hopeless. Mike Tomlin, a little pissed off. Rightly so.
When a man loses his hope, he's got nothing.
No.
You know?
Just a very dejected sideline.
I bet you Ben was wishing he retired last year.
I don't know.
He's a Hall of Famer. We've already determined that. So
I think he'll get... I don't think he gets much more than 2 weeks. If they lose next week... Even next week, if they lose next week, I think he's out of there. They'll roll with Rudolph.
Phooey. That's a blow to the old ego. When you get benched from Mason Rudolph, not good. Not good at all.
I don't know. They put a video loop of all the throws that Ben missed. Just missing wide open receivers, overthrowing receivers.
Do you see him try and roll out of the pocket?
He can't move anymore.
No,
either.
His knees got to be just toast.
Yeah.
And I mean, that comes from, taking low shots and moving around that big frame for
he's been
25 years. He's 39. So he's been, at least 19 years.
I don't think he was really a starter till he hit the 25.
Who was the starter before him?
I don't know. I think it was like 2005, 2006 he started playing. So, 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
They play the Denver Broncos next week and Seattle the week after.
That should be a get-right game for Ben.
Should, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. If he loses that game, they have to look somewhere else because Denver is not a good football team.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll jump on board with that then.
Denver, Seattle, Cleveland, next 3 games.
Ooh, 2 tough ones. And a divisional game, of course, against Cleveland. So we'll see. But
I believe we're through the whole gauntlet this week. I think we covered everything.
I think that's all of them. 21-14. That game is now.
9:03. We're approaching the hour mark.
Raiders,
so we better get some MLB wildcard action.
Would you let me throw this update in there?
Okay.
Raiders Chargers 21-14. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
There you go.
Okay.
What I told you.
They're not tied yet. So
these big leads are evaporating this year.
Yeah, it's like 2 different teams come out at the half. The lead means nothing. So, but you're right, Reed. We are closing in on our time. MLB, RIP Jays. Had a hell of a run. Even won the game they needed to somewhat control their own destiny.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. Yankees, Red Sox tomorrow, and Cards and Dodgers go tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
So, Yankees, Red Sox, winner plays Tampa. We got the White Sox and the Astros in the ALDS, the other side of the ALDS. And then we got Cards, Dodgers, winners plays the Giants. And the Braves and Brewers in the other NLDS. So let's stick with the wild card games. We'll dive deep into baseball on Wednesday, but Yankees, Red Sox. Let's start with the AL. Who do you like and why?
We have Garrett Cole going tomorrow for the Yankees versus Nate Eovaldi for Boston. I believe the Yankees will be a favorite, heavy favorite, I would think. But hey, it's one game.
That's true.
We'll see what happens. It's baseball. So, Garrett Cole, I believe, lost his last outing against Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto beat him last time, but that Yankee lineup is just 1 through 9. There ain't no weaknesses.
Yeah, you like the Yanks.
I do.
They've pulled through for
Boston's playing, I don't know, Boston's playing okay, but I don't know how the Yankees lose this game.
So you like the Yanks.
I like the Yankees to go to the World Series, I think.
Wow, that's a revelation and a half. Look at that. Yanks to the World Series. Should I bet that?
No.
Okay. What should I bet?
I don't know. Bet what you want. I don't want this on my conscience.
Fine.
Just the worst way for Toronto to lose to. Toronto won their game, 12-2?
12-4 it finished.
And when that game finished, the Yankees and Rays were tied at 0. And Washington was beating Boston 5-2.
And they lost 7-5.
It was looking so good. And like in true form, Yankees muscle out a win.
1-0, I think that finished actually.
Yeah, and then the Red Sox scored 3 in the 7th to tie it. And then Rafael Devers with the 2-run nail.
He hit a laser
beam to center to seal it for Boston. So I don't know. I believe the game. It's in New York, I think, right?
Yes, they were the better of the winning percentage. Yeah,
they finished the game up. So yeah, the game is in New York. And then on the NL side, we have St. Louis Cardinals versus the LA Dodgers.
I know which way you're going on this one. You like the Dodgers. How do you not? It's a pretty good lineup. Yeah. You know what? Well, my AL pick, I'm going with the Yanks as well. That roster is super deep, like you said. Stanton's been hot. Judge has been hot. Garrett Cole's a fine pitcher. I don't know anything about the Red Sox guy. What's his name?
Eovaldi. Yeah, he's been around he's been around a bit.
Ace? He's good?
I don't know. He's okay.
Okay. Well, then I'm going with the Yanks. I like the Yanks too.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Cards. Yeah,
the Cards are gonna win.
Man, this end of season run.
You're on the wagon. I forgot.
I am. I just can't get enough of this 17-game win streak, and then I don't think they lost to the Brewers, and then they've won ever since.
Yeah.
And I think they're just gonna, pull a little rabbit out of their hat here.
Yeah, but stranger things have happened.
And you're going with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I gotta stay with the Dodgers. They're, I don't know. Who do they have? Max Scherzer. Come on.
He's playing.
Max
He's
Scherzer,
pitching
he's
that game.
pitching, and then we got the old crafty veteran Adam Wainwright going for St. Louis. So
fresh off his 1-year extension.
This will be a good game to watch. This would I don't know. If we get a pick, they don't play the same. They both play tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
But not the same. I believe the Yankees and Sox are on first.
Well, East Coast versus West Coast, right? So Yankees will play first, obviously, being on the East Coast. And then the Dodgers are hosting the Cards. So.
These will be 2 good games. I would suggest watching both of them. If you have nothing else to do.
If possible, watch them both. And your head might just explode because it's going to be so great that I don't even know what to say. It's going to be good. I have a feeling.
I was getting ready for this 4-team mega tiebreaker.
So was I. I think everybody was.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be just a regular old finish.
Yeah. Oh well.
Damn it.
Oh well.
Goddamn Jays. Brutal. But they did what they could, right?
Yeah.
Other than, they dropped that one game to Baltimore that they shouldn't have. And I mean, hindsight's 20/20. Easy to look back on it now and say, oh, we should have done this and should have done that. But I like the Jays going into next year. We'll see if they can hang on to everybody. Lourdes Gurriel come out today, said he wants to stay.
I think Simeon wants to stay too.
Yeah, Marcus Simeon said he wants to stay. He said who wouldn't want to be a part of that? And he had the record for most home runs by second baseman, 44 this year.
Yep.
Pretty good. There's been a lot of guys that can swing the bat that played second base. So to hit the most taters out of all those guys, pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Or what?
Well, it's tough to people say things that they don't mean all the time. So we'll see.
You don't think he meant that?
If I'm Marcus Simeon and I can go back and play in warm weather, I don't know why.
They play in a dome, no? I mean,
yeah, but the guy's he's also going to play in Toronto as long as he's starting. Maybe he wants to stay there.
Maybe. Well, I mean,
I don't know. Or it's the funniest thing. People also like money. So
I would say his trade value has never been higher.
I believe he signed a 1-year, $22 million contract last year.
So they have to
So he's due for another contract.
Oof, That's going to cost them.
So what better time for Marcus Semien to hit the free agent market than this year? I don't know, man.
Ooh, that's a rough one. Vladdy tied with, what's his name, the catcher from KC?
Sal Perez.
Yeah, and Salvador Perez, did he lead the majors in RBIs this year?
I don't know.
With 121?
But he did break the record for catcher home runs.
Yeah. Phenomenal season. Lots to like about the Jays going forward. Let's shift gears to the NBA just to close it out here.
Okay.
Chicago Bulls, bunch of acquisitions in this offseason. Lonzo, DeMar, Caruso, all partnering up with Zach LaVine in Chicago. Can the Bulls contend in the East with the roster they currently have?
Yes, Chad.
Yeah? They can be a playoff team.
Yep, Vucevic is...
Yeah, they got big Vuce, too.
I don't know. He's borderline top 10 player in the league, I would say.
Oh, come on. In
top
the league?
15, maybe. He's
maybe
a good
top
player.
10 center.
I think he's the best player on that team.
Ooh, Levine's pretty good.
I don't know. He's a good player. He's got a fat contract, too.
Levine or...
Vucevic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. You got Vucevic, Levine, DeMar. That's pretty good.
Vucevic ain't top 10 in the league, though.
I don't know.
You should retract that statement.
He's
top 25, maybe.
I don't know. I should probably get some players in front of me before I say that.
Yeah, that's a big claim.
15. I said 15 after. I'll stick with my 15, though. You might be top 15. Top 15.
I wouldn't. I can name you 10
Next,
guys better than him right now.
We'll do this one day. We'll name our top 10 basketball players.
Sure. I like the sounds of that. Yeah. Preseason's in full swing. So I just I wanted to know where you stood on the Bulls. I mean, they're intriguing. Not a lot of success in Chi-Town the past, 15 years.
How old is he? Is Levine 30 yet? He's
I don't
probably
think
30.
So. No, I don't think
so.
so.
I don't think Vucevic is either.
DeMar is 33? Lonzo's 25, 26.
Compare that to the Lakers' big three, but LeBron's 36 now. 37.
Westbrook's 34.
And Davis is he cracking 30?
25.
Is he?
27 maybe.
Yeah.
He's young.
I'd say the Bulls are a guaranteed playoff team.
Wow.
Well, how could they not be? That's a good top three.
Yeah, I mean, lots of teams have a good top three. It's not a great top three.
I would say slightly above average top three, I'll say.
So they are, you think they are
They're better than the Knicks. They're better than the Knicks right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, we're looking at the Knicks. We got who? We got D Rose. We got RJ
Randall, and
Jordan. Yeah. Oh, I would definitely take the Bulls top three.
And the Knicks were the 5 seed last year?
Yeah.
Are the Bulls better than the Hawks right now, do you think?
No.
The Hawks are good.
Just from a point guard perspective, Trae Young is pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have locked him in, but I don't know if I still would. I have to look at the other teams in the East, right, and weigh it out, and we could talk about that for probably 3 hours. So.
Yeah, we'll do our NBA playoff picks sometime soon.
Yeah, I mean when the season gets a little closer, right? We're focusing on football right now and will be for the foreseeable future. But second thing I want to talk about NBA wise, Raptors this year. Thoughts, expectations, predictions.
First season, they're not a playoff team right now.
First season without Lowry.
Yeah.
They are. Are they a 10 seed in the East?
I don't know. We got Pascal still. Fred.
Yep.
And Dragic is okay.
He doesn't.
I don't know.
There. Well, he didn't. Now he's kind of whistling a different tune, supposedly. But,
I don't know.
They got OG out 3 to 4 weeks. Hurt his finger or something. Last night.
I didn't see.
Yeah. I didn't see it either. I just heard about it. So,
But right now, I don't think they'd be a top 8 team in the East right now. I don't think.
No, I would agree with that. Yeah, Lowry. As much as I maybe didn't like Lowry,
he went to Miami.
Yeah, that's tough boots to fill. That guy grinded and played hard.
Yeah,
and it's not every day you find a guy that'll play like that for you.
Are they saying Lowry's the greatest Raptor of all time right now?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
How can you? Well, as a career player, yeah, they'll retire his number.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Are they going to retire Kawhi's number? 1 year. That'd
1 year.
That'd be crazy.
A chip gone. Thanks, Toronto.
Maybe we'll talk about that. Should Toronto retire Kawhi Leonard's number 2?
But he did win him a championship. Yeah. He put that team on his back. Let's be honest.
I feel, yeah. That's kind of a crazy argument to have, but why? I don't know. They'll retire Lowry's number 7 for sure.
Yeah, you get a mixed crowd from the Raptors fans that are like, "Oh, I love Kawhi." They left. I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag.
They knew what they were getting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they knew it was just a pit stop, right? To see what else he could find, and then he got home. So, I don't know when Kawhi will be back even from that ACL injury.
Don't know.
Not anytime soon. Maybe he might not even play this year. So that's a little frightening if you're a Clippers fan, but such is life. That's all I got, Reed. That's it. That's the end of my notes. If you look here, it's a blank sheet ready for Wednesday. That was our 10th episode, so congratulations.
Perhaps maybe we'll do our NFL bet again.
For the donkey hat.
Perhaps.
Going into this weekend.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, we can.
We'll decide tomorrow if we're doing our bet this week or not.
All right, we'll look ahead to the games. And
we'll talk about it.
We'll pick 3 and see if we can't come to some type of an agreement.
Perhaps a World Series, some sort of World Series bet. Maybe.
Could do that.
We'll have something for you on Wednesday.
Yeah, something a little unorthodox, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Well, that's it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. As usual, if you didn't catch us here, you can catch us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's where you'll find us. So, any last words for today, Reed? Any words of wisdom? Nuggets of knowledge? Come on.
I don't know. We have it'll be interesting to see what happens with hockey with this COVID coming back in Canada.
Mm-hmm. I seen
that is that situation is TBD. I think they're planning on playing hockey in Canada.
For sure. There's
how the heck are they going to do this the right way?
I don't know. Without looking like complete hypocrites? Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Probably with the decreased audience number, but
again, you think they'll limit?
Yeah.
Well,
at least in Canada, I'm watching football games on TV in the States that have packed crowds, no masks.
110,000 just stacked on top of each other.
And I can't go to the grocery store without being surrounded by people in masks. So
that's a bunch of bullshit.
We'll see what happens with hockey. Who knows what happens with hockey, but we'll see.
I think they'll go ahead as planned, but we'll talk about that maybe a little more Wednesday. But on that note, Reed, I bid you adieu and have a wonderful evening.
You too.
All right, buddy. Done deal.